How much does it cost for a business coach? Are you looking for a coach to help you grow your business, but you're not sure how much you should expect to pay? Are you ready to invest in your business, but you're not sure how much to budget? If you're wondering how much business coaches typically charge, you're in the right place because in this video, I'm gonna share how much it typically costs to work with a business coach. Hey, Courtney Sanders here. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new to me, I'm a full-time online life and business coach, as well as wife and mom. Wear all the hats and do all the things. And today I wanted to answer a question that I get a lot, which is, how much am I looking to pay if I work with a business coach? And the answer is, it depends, but you probably knew that already. So let's get into how much you can expect to pay when working with a business coach. Okay, the first thing to keep in mind is that good business coaches technically don't cost anything, because that's the whole point. Sure, you're gonna spend money to work with them, but if they're worth their salt, they're gonna help you get a return on your investment, which actually leads me to my first point. So when it comes to how much you're looking to spend when working with a business coach, it really depends on the ROI that you are looking for. So if you are a beginner and you're just looking to make your first $1,000, you'll probably be working with also a beginner business coach who's not gonna charge, a whole lot. What I find is that typically business coaches will charge anywhere from 10 to 20% of the ROI that they can typically get their clients within a year of using their strategies. So again, it really runs the gamut. I paid, well over $100,000 to my business coach last year, but then I turned around and did $500,000 in 5 days, right, with one of my launches. So that already has proven to be well worth the investment. So you really want to think about what is the ROI ultimately that you're trying to get, and then gauge or budget about 10% of that ROI that you're looking to earn in your first year. So if you're looking to start to hit 6 figures, then you should be prepared to pay about 5 figures for a business coach who has the capacity and the capability to help you get there. Okay, after thinking about your ROI and what you actually want to get from your business coach, or how much you're looking to earn from their advice, you also want to consider the duration that you want to work with them. So obviously, if you're working with a business coach for a shorter duration, that's probably gonna cost a lot less than if you're working with them long-term, let's say 3 months, 6 months, or even a year. But this doesn't always hold true, especially when we get into VIP days. So I would say on the very, very low end, working with a business coach for a solo session, if they even offer it. I know a lot of business coaches, myself included, don't do hour sessions or 90-minute sessions because it's really just not enough time in order to give you what you need to really implement and grow your business. And so any business coach worth their salt is going to kind of enforce a duration that is necessary for the clients to get a result for working with them. But just for the sake of this example, you might work with a business coach who is offering hourly sessions. That's going to be one rate, typically their lowest. Then you might have them doing anywhere from like a 6 to 8 week program, or maybe even 3 months. That's going to be a little more. And then from there, you have business coaches who are working with people for 6 months, or some even an entire year. And so obviously the longer you're working with a business coach, the more it's going to cost you. Now, VIP days are day-long intensives, typically for high-level people who want to get the result quickly in a compressed amount of time. So VIP days for most business coaches are actually not cheaper, even though it's one day, because they're giving you their complete strategy and they're like downloading it into your business in just one day. So typically you'll find a lot of high-level entrepreneurs who just need a strategy, and they're like, look, just tell me what I need to do. I don't have time to go through a 6-month or a 12-month program. I just want, boom, the strategy right now so that I can take it and I can go home and implement it. That's what a VIP day is for. And so your VIP days can get pretty pricey because, again, it's based on the ROI that you're getting, not necessarily the duration. But outside of a VIP day, you want to look at the duration that you plan to work with the business coach, because that is going to inform the price. Okay, the next thing that you need to consider is whether you're going to work with that business coach one-on-one or in a group capacity, or if you're going to work with them directly at all and you're going to work with them in some sort of course capacity. So working with business coaches in their courses or their digital products or even their ebooks, those tend to be inexpensive. You're looking at what, 10, 20, maybe $100 for, a substantial ebook, a few $100s to a few $1,000s for a course. But once you start to get into actual coaching programs, meaning there's some live interaction or some live access either with the coach themselves or the coach's team, that's when you're looking to spend more money. So group coaching programs tend to be cheaper than one-on-one coaching programs because there is that direct direct time that you are working with the coach. And also when that coach is working directly with you, they can't work with other people. So there's kind of a lost revenue opportunity. So they're gonna build that into their pricing to make up for all the other clients that they're not gonna be able to work with because they're working with you one-on-one. In addition to that, there's also extra work involved because they have to take their strategies and truly customize it to you and your specific business. And that takes brain power and thinking about it. And it can be mentally exhausting work. So if you insist on working with a business coach one-on-one, understand that you're gonna pay more than if you work with them in a group program. And you're certainly gonna pay more than if you take one of their courses or download one of their digital products. Okay, we're gonna get into the pricing in just a second, but first I wanna hear from you. Are you currently looking for a business coach? Go ahead and let us know in the comments below. All right, so let's get into some ranges and understand that these ranges are not set in stone. It's just general. And again, the price is gonna vary based on the duration that we talked about. Is it one-on-one, is it group? But I'm just gonna throw out some general numbers that I've seen here in the industry. So typically when you're working with beginner business coaches, you're typically looking at like a $3,000 to $5,000 range. And that can be for one-on-one, it can be for group. It really depends on how new the coach is, but most beginners, if they are working with you, are gonna charge around those prices. If they're super new and they're not that confident, you might get like a $1,500 range for a business coach. But I always tell people you wanna be careful because you do kind of get what you pay for in this instance. And so if the person doesn't have a lot of confidence about helping you get a result, they're gonna compensate by charging less, right? So there's that 10x ROI rule, right? So, if I'm not that confident that I can help you get a 6-figure result, then I'm gonna discount my prices. So you might be thinking that you're getting a steal working with a business coach who's only charging $1,500, but don't be surprised if you don't make more than about $15,000 your first year in business. So just keep that in mind. But for your beginner business coaches, I'd say 3 to 5K is a good range. When we step it up and we get into your mid-tier coaches, they've worked with some clients, they've got some results under their belt, I'd say they can charge anywhere from $7,500 on the low end to about maybe $10K on average. And I've seen even like $12K for programs or $15K for programs. And understand, again, this is gonna vary. These prices aren't necessarily, it can be one-on-one, it can be group, it might be a 6-month program. I've seen 6-month group programs for like $12K, but I've also seen VIP days by coaches for $10K, right? So it's gonna vary, it's not set in stone, it's really based on the coach and what type of duration they like to coach on and what type of packages they like to offer. But a solid mid-range coach who's worth their salt, I'd say $7,500 on the absolute low end, we're getting into that 10 to 12K range. All right, when we get into advanced coaches, honestly, the sky's the limit. Like, again, at this point, it's really based on ROI, right? So there really is no set price for an advanced coach because they're literally charging based on the result that they can give you. So when I was doing my notes for this video, I was like, I don't know, maybe like $30K for like a really advanced business coach. But again, that's not necessarily true because I've heard of business coaches charging $1 million, if what they do can help you get $10 million. So it really depends on the target market that they're targeting, the types of businesses that they're dealing with. Again, I personally paid well over $100,000 to work with my business coach last year, and that was just one coach, but the ROI that he's providing, like, in the program that I was in, people were doing $1 million days, right? So it wasn't a stretch for him to charge those prices because it was in alignment with the results that he was getting. And so again, you have to understand that a business coach who is good at what they do and is worth their salt, they know their worth and they're going to be charging it. So as the saying goes, if you're the best, you can't be the cheapest. And if you're the cheapest, you can't be the best, right? So it kind of goes that way with business coaches. So when it comes to advanced business coaching, again, it really depends on your ROI. It depends on your type of business. If you're running some, large mega business with maybe a brick and mortar with a lot of different employees and you're doing $100 million a year, it might make sense for you to pay a business coach, a few $1 million, right? But if you were just cracking, multiple 6 figures and you're trying to scale into 7 figures, maybe it makes sense for you to pay a business coach, several tens of thousands of dollars. So it really depends, but at this point, when we're talking about advanced business coaching, it really is based on the ROI you're looking to get. Okay, hopefully this provides some clarity in terms of what you can expect to pay for a business coach. But if you want even more strategies, in fact, strategies that I as a business coach would offer my clients, I really invite you to check out my $1 Million Coaching Brand Masterclass. This is actually a replay of a masterclass that I did not too long ago. It's not boring PowerPoint slides, it's on the whiteboard. I go really, really in depth, and it's completely free. And so this is gonna share all of my $1 Million coaching strategies and what I've used with my clients and the strategies that I've taught them that have helped many of my clients do as much as 6 figures in their own launches. So if you're serious about growing your business, which I would expect because you're watching this video on how much does it cost to work with a business coach, go ahead and get access to that free masterclass right now by clicking the link below. All right, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. And if you can't wait until my next video, come on over to my podcast, The Courtney Sanders Show, which is available on both iTunes and Spotify. And if you can't wait for both my podcast and my next video, come on over to Instagram. In fact, you can leave a comment on my latest photo or my latest post. Let me know you watched this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.